Hey guys, welcome back. Lane filtering can be a surprisingly controversial topic. Not to be confused with lane splitting, but I'll explain in this video what the difference is. But not everyone knows that lane filtering is legal in Australia. Riders know, but older drivers and uneducated or just ignorant people don't seem to know that lane filtering for us riders is totally legal. For newer riders, it does take some nerve to do, and it takes a while to get used to it. And there's many riders out there been riding for years that hardly ever filter or never filter. But in this video, I'm going to share a real-time experience I had actually filming a motor vlog, an upcoming motor vlog, and it couldn't have been timed better. So check out the video and tell me what you think. So why do we filter? Is it just to get in front of everyone? Is it just to be a pain in the ass? Just to show off? I'm sure it's like that for a few people. But really, it's a really good chance of getting rear-ended on a bike. You're very narrow. You're not very visible, especially with the glare. This time of day is terrible, especially heading out west. The sun's in your eyes for us, so people just don't see you. They're not paying attention. There's so much else for people to look at. How many times do you see like ridiculous little rear-enders with people that are, looking at something else, looking at a phone? That bike rider was just looking down at something. People just have got too much to absorb, and it's easy to miss it. It's even easy to, like, if you're looking at the car's lights and you don't see the bike, you give yourself time to not hit the car, and then boom, you bump a bike. Now, sometimes we can't filter and we get stuck, and I've seen a couple of times people late brake behind me and I've been pooping myself. I normally keep the bike in gear, but sometimes you might have positioned yourself where there's nowhere to go. We're only human, and if you're riding for a while, you can make mistakes. So we might position ourselves without an escape. And I've had some close calls. Like, the angels have been with me, protecting me, a guardian angel. And so I'll try and get out of the way, and even if I don't filter all the way through, I'll just try and get between two cars that are stationary. So there's a lot of controversy. Another stronger. There's a lot of controversy in the States because they've just made it legal in a lot of states there, a lot more than it was before. Because people think, oh, bikes, I hate bikes getting through and I hate it, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I don't agree with splitting. If I'm doing, 80, I don't want someone in the same lane right next to me. I get it. That's splitting. Now let me explain the difference between filtering and splitting. In Australia, lane splitting is illegal. So if I was at this speed, in the lane with that blue car in between, officially it's splitting if they're travelling past a certain speed, right? But if they are slowed down and I slow down and I'm below 35 kilometers an hour and I can squeeze through like I am here, that's filtering. So now I'm screwed because this guy, like, that's the issue. It's this buffhead not paying attention when that truck was coming and I was letting him in. Sports bike riders give us all a bad name. So here where you see something stopped, I don't know why he stopped. I don't know why that got stopped. Why I stopped. See that randomness? But this filtering is purely, we're better off out of your way than adding to the bulk of the traffic. So there's that. There's common sense reason. If you can get another vehicle out of your way, why would you want to sit behind a vehicle or have a vehicle adding to the traffic, to the congestion? Why wouldn't you want to just let it move out of the way? So most Sydney drivers are cool. Most Sydney drivers are cool with it, is they're used to it. If you're not used to it, it can make you nervous. When people do silly things, it pisses people off. So back to my point, low speed, 35 kilometres give or take, or less, where the traffic's slowing or stopped or starting to move, is considered filtering, which is legal here. When the traffic's above that speed, it's considered splitting, which is illegal. And people still do it, but they're breaking the law. So if you're splitting and something happens to you, well, you really don't have a leg to stand on, do you? And that might be literally, but if you're filtering, what's the big deal? Why are people against it? Why are people so pedantically against it? This is where the sports bike wins, isn't it? What do you reckon I get through here? No. And you take the good with the bad, don't you? See what I mean, not paying attention? Drainer. She just proved my point. She just fucking proved my point. I just nearly got rear-ended. She just proved my point for... I hope you got that in the camera. She just proved my point for the filtering. Fuck, I hope I got that in the camera. Point made. No argument. Anyone who disagrees, you know what to do. Like, I even stopped over the line, mate. I even stopped over the line. The light was clearly red when I stopped. Point made. I don't know if you caught it on camera, I hope you did in a mirror, but you might have heard the tyre. This one here jammed on her brakes. Jammed on her brakes behind me. Unbelievable. And she's been following me. It's not like it was a mystery. This is what goes to show, they're not looking for motorcycle riders. So all your know-it-alls, all the armchair heroes that say, oh, it's just because they want to go faster and we hate it when bikes get in front of us and blah, 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 blah. Well, we don't care. You don't be rear-ended by you because you're having an off moment. Yeah, the world doesn't revolve around you in your air-conditioned comfort, watching your TV screens, listening to your podcasts, checking your messages, all the other crap that drivers do. Apart from all we do is pay attention to the road and think that everyone's out to kill us. Like here. Got the blood flowing. And so 2 people put my life at risk. The one that drained it and didn't take off because they were daydreaming and looking at something else, so I could have made that light. And then the woman behind me who completely just spaced out and nearly ran up the back of me at a red light. Who knew? I mean, I'm not even wearing my black leathers. I'm wearing my work jacket. It's got fluoro all over it. It's a point made. I couldn't have planned that. Any better. So then you might argue, there might be people that argue, yeah, but what about if people sideswipe you and whatnot? And that could happen any time, mate. What difference does it make? People can change lanes all the time without indicating. We're kind of on our toes, trying to get between them. Like, bike riders know the story. They know all the nuances of riding a bike. People that don't ride bikes don't know what's involved. They just think it's mechanically, you just learn to physically ride the bike. That's just the start. It's just the awareness. Your awareness level goes up 1,000%. You have to kind of be a mind reader and read every driver that you pass. And even then, situations change all the time. Okay guys, the rant's over now. The rush of blood lasted for a couple of minutes, but that sort of thing happens pretty regularly. It'll happen on every decent ride that's over like 10 or 20 minutes long. It happens more often than you think. So I guess it is a sore point for me because people are ignorant to that fact. But on the other hand, I can see both sides of the argument, because even I, in this video, got upset with the other rider because I was letting the truck come in. I felt I was being safe and I felt that rider was being reckless. So that was my judgment of him, but he might have felt completely safe in that situation. So you can see from different perspectives, it comes down to common sense and judgment, yeah? But let me know what you think in the comments. Like, do you filter? Do you lane split where you live? Do you lane split in Australia? I'd like to hear what you think about it, because I do think it's important that as riders that we have this as a safety tool and that people get educated on it and are aware of it. I realize that there's people out there that always abuse the system, but should everyone be punished for that? But that's just my point of view. Let me hear from you. Thanks for watching this video again. It's a pretty long one. Please like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. And I'll see you next time. Take care.